Hey, good evening. This is Eric Anderson coming to you live from Poker House at Fort Worth. Still have not figured out that microphone problem, just a slight buzz in the background. I'm going to let you guys watch for a little bit while I do some diagnostics.
Thank you for calling that in. Thank you. Yes, sir. Really. Okay. I'm one better than me. I fold.
Flop the boat on
Oh, Jesus. Yep, full house.
Okay, full house, C1. We are doing 4-2 and that beats that 5
Well, wouldn't that be nice?
Oh, man. Replay it again.
Yeah.
That's all you'd see the whole, everything.
I'll take off my shirt and I'll run
Right. Beat your tummy. I'll be I'll go viral when we hit that.
Yo, what's up?
Pizza, get the pizza.
I just want to like chips. So, got 4 now. I get Diet Coke.
Check.
I have one here.
non-believer. Yeah, I know. The dealer's out. I'm all in. I don't have nothing yet. Suited though. Me too. You have hearts? No, I don't have hearts. I have hearts. Okay. Wait. That's straight. You good? You have them fill the river?
I think it's 10.
Okay, head of straight, C5. Don't count for him.
That wasn't not good.
Huh?
That wasn't not good.
enough. Ah, what is that, 65? No. What the hell? Yeah, yeah. Ooh, that hurt. What'd you do? Hey, we gotta check the computer later and see what's done with it. Yeah, it's not on there.
No wonder you were squirming over there.
I'm like, God dang.
It was one of those, what they have.
Yeah. Yeah, gotta run quads out. Did you fold F5? Did you fold F5 in that? Just want to make sure. I'm just kidding. I'm just
Make sure there was not five fires.
yeah, I'm just making sure there's not five fives.
Alrighty, guys. Shout out everybody there. This is Reese. Gonna be bringing DJ's game to you tonight. We're gonna get that static wrapped up there just a little bit. Give it just a second there, Napalm. We got the great Eric working on it. He's texting me right now.
It's the C button.
Again, this is the 1-2 game, DJ's game at Poker House Fort Worth. Just jumping in. I watched that last hand. Looked like aces, but didn't get to see the other hand as they were catching up on the static issue. So we're going to apologize for missing that pretty big hand, but we did see the winning hand of aces. Looks like Nabi here stabbing at this small pot here with his 4 deuce. Ronnie's going to decide to lead out this time 4-10. Napalm, you can give the room a call. I do not know if they have a masseuse there in house tonight, but odds are pretty good that they do. But you can call the Poker House Fort Worth room. I am actually not at Poker House right now. I am in West Texas. I sub in to help sometimes with these live streams. But you can give Poker House Fort Worth a call there in Burleson and just say, hey, any masseuse over there? And see what they say to help you out to get my kicker, maybe some run good massage at the 1-2 table.
880. 880 outside.
And again, my name is Reese. I want to welcome everybody for tuning in to DJ's game, the 1-2 game at Poker House Fort Worth. We're going to get this static cleaned up here momentarily. We run 15 minutes delay, so I'm expecting it'll get mopped up here in the next few minutes. I know they worked on it a little bit ago. DJ in the 5 seat, the man's own game, going to raise it up with the ace king. It's like a $110 bet, and I don't know if anybody's going to have anything to come along with him. Maybe Cheech in the 9 seat wants to flip for his stack. And nope, he's going to let this one go, and Zach's not going to call. And so DJ, uncontested, going to pick up Zach's pre-flop raise there. Just getting a little creative with the Jack 3. Trying to build up some pots, get some of those chips back. He lost 2 seat 4 when they had those pocket aces. DJ shows an ace. And that should be the end of the static. Can everyone still hear me properly?
Can you hear me, Reese?
I can, Eric.
All right, perfect. Our microphones, our lapel microphones, are not working in Fort Worth, so I'm just going to turn off the table mic totally, so you don't have to try to compete with that static.
Okay, you're just going to have to listen to me.
Yeah, perfect.
But that is all good. No static is always best, and we'll get those microphones set up to where we can get that nailed down next time. And he may be able to address that, Napalm. We may get him back. But for now, no static, unfortunately, is the best option. Just go ahead and cut those out for now, as Zach is still continuing to try to build the pot pre-flop to get, like I said, get some of that stack back. He lost earlier with the Queen 8 suited. Gil with the best of it with the Ace 10. 5 ways to a flop. And a lot of nothing out there, except for Nobby's going to pick up top pair, but he's only got a deuce kicker to go with that jack. Zach decides not to c-bet his pre-flop aggression, take a free turn. Sir Lancelot picking up a gut shot, but no takers really for anyone else. And that 5 on the river is not going to help anybody. So Nabi's still with the best of it. He's going to go ahead and bet out the jack, $15. And unless someone wants to bluff at this, that's probably going to take down this $50 plus pot. Again, DJ's game, the 1-2 no limit game at Poker House Fort Worth on this Wednesday night. We're going to be streaming for a couple more hours. May get some of that table talk back, get that worked on and see. But for now, my name is Reese, and I am watching the chat. If you have any questions, comments, any sort of fans out there, if anybody playing right now, let us know. Root on your favorite player in tonight's stream. And it looks like we do have a full table, but as seats do come open, they will be filled. So if you are around the Burleson area, you can come and join up, sign up, look at this game, study it a bit, and then come join it. Appreciate the compliments there, Liam. And Cheech is going to raise this one up, punishing the limpers with the ace-jack offsuit. But this is Texas poker, and we're still going to go 6 ways to a flop. As they say, Texas heads up. So already 120 in the pot. Pretty juicy 1-2 game. All hearts. And Cheech, pre-flop raiser, holding the ace of hearts. That's got to feel good. He's going to go ahead and bet this out for $15. And unless someone wants to get creative. Oh, no, Sir Lancelot flopping the flush. I didn't see that at the bottom of the screen there. The 8-7 of hearts. So not only does he already have the flush, but he is an open-ended straight flush. This he's going to raise it up to 50, just announce himself immediately here. And but Cheech is not going to go anywhere with the nut draw. Little does he know if a 6 or a jack peel off could be a disaster. And that's the 4th heart. That's going to help out Cheech there. And unfortunately, Sir Lancelot, no, he went ahead and jammed it in. I thought he might slow down there, but he did not. And Cheech is going to snap call him there. Sir Lancelot looking for a 6 or a jack of hearts. Not dead. Got the jack. Wrong flavor. Tough break there for Sir Lancelot, with Cheech turning the nut flush there on the turn, but he's never going to lay that down. Not with all the pre-flop aggression and the post-flop betting that he did. So just tough luck there for Sir Lancelot to lose out to that 4 to a flush on the board. And like I said, Cheech there with the ace-high flush and not having the hand locked up. Sir Lancelot still having a couple outs. A little bit scary and unexpected. Now, I believe this is a 300 cap buy-in game, 1-2. So, like I said, if you are in the Burleson area, come on down here and get on the list. Like I said, we are full at the moment, but people do come and go throughout the night. I'm sure they have some other cash games going that you can fill your time with while you wait for a seat to open up at DJ's game. And come join these guys live on YouTube and Facebook. Now, the last time I was commentating around here, I do remember DJ. I do remember my kicker. Zach in the 1 seat, of course. I do recognize him. Somebody remind me, the older gentleman that always sits in the 9 seat. Where's he at tonight? What was his name? the guy who used to never raise pre-flop, and then last time I watched him stream on the stream, he was full of a lot of pressure and bluffs. I was really happy to see the change in play out of him there, using his image. Napalm, I'm not sure. Uh, we shall see. Cheech is going to bet out his bottom pair here, and there are no other takers with no aces left in the field. Nope, it looks like we had a caller. Yeah, my kicker called with the gut shot. Definitely going to get to see probably a free river here, unless he wants to take the lead in the bet here. Nope, he's going to go ahead and take that free card. Needs a queen, but he does make a pair of tens, so he is going to have the best hand on the turn. Cheech didn't bet enough. Kicker may no, he's just going to let that one go. Going to give him credit for a jack or an ace at least, knowing his 10 isn't any good, even though it was good betting there by Cheech to pick up that pot. Yeah, Napalm, I'm not sure of the double board bomb pots on the. Usually they do a double board bomb pot on dealer changes, but given the live stream, I don't know how frequently they're going to be changing the dealers out here tonight. But they are a lot of fun to watch, and definitely more interesting to commentate on, because you're having to look at about 30 cards try to figure out what somebody has to even make any comments on it. We are on hand number 13. Cheech in the lead on the raise first in category. DJ staying active as per usual, right behind him on almost 30% of hands. We'll get some VPIPs up there here in a while. And sort of the rest of the about half the table, Kicker, Ronnie, those other guys, they are definitely being the calling positions rather than the first aggression positions so far. But nothing wrong with that while you're trying to get a feel for the table. They've been playing, like I said, this is the 13th hand. So we're just getting to know each other, but we have seen a couple big pots already. And nobody's letting any limping go around. There's always been at least one person raising it up here pre-flop, which is what I like to see. And Cheech is going to come along with his suited queen 7. Zach having the dominating hand of queen jack offsuit. And queen 8-8. That is a terrible flop for Cheech. Going to be needing a king or an ace on the river to try to chop this pot up, but he's going to think that maybe this queen is worth calling a little bit. Zach going to bet out $30, and Cheech coming right along. So some opportunities here, but not much. So Cheech may need to decide if he's going to believe that Zach has a queen in this position here. Zach going to get the pressure on with a $20 bet into about 100, and Cheech with a fast call, not going anywhere with top pair. And the jack is not what he's going to be looking for. Zach's going to improve to a better 2 pair, and he's going to go ahead and go all in here with looks like a little over 100. And Cheech has got a real decision to make here. You know, he snap called him on the turn, called the flop, snap called him on the turn, but now that he's just facing a $190 bet into, well, it's a pretty big overbet actually, but I do like it by Zach. So unless, and if your opponent didn't snap call you, then you know he doesn't have an 8, so you're probably good to go in this pot. But Cheech is staying pretty connected here to that top pair no kicker, playing the queens and 8s with the jack on the board. Again, big overbet by Zach. 190 to make this call out of Cheech. A little less than half his stack. Trying to decide if Zach has an 8 here, ever. He's cut the 190 out right there. Little shuffle of the cards Zach's been pretty active today, and he is one buy-in or two buy-ins deep, so he is capable of making moves here, but it's hard to put him on much else than queen at the bottom of his range, pretty much with the way he continued on. And so Cheech is basically thinking, even if I call this, would I be just splitting the pot just to get my money back? But he does make the call and going to see the bad news that he was never there. But he goes ahead and shows the queen. And Zach is going to get a lot of his bullets back that he lost against the pocket aces in seat 4 earlier. It's going to make him feel much better about this session so far. And that's going to bring Cheech back down to a little over starting stack, so he's going to lose all the ground that he had made up to this point. Greg, welcome to the stream. I'm glad you can hear me good. And here we are with the V-Pips. Brandon leading the pack, and Zach, like I said, he's been pretty active. DJ's barely over 50%. Surprising. So nobody in chat's reminded me who's the older gentleman that usually sits in the 9 seat. Fantastic poker player, looks like a really cool guy. Usually sits in the 9 seats for these games. I cannot think of his name, but I think this is the first time I've commented on a live stream, and he has not been there. He never would raise pre-flop. You could give him pocket aces, he's going to limp in for $2. And then as soon as somebody else bets it, he springs the trap. I loved the way he played, and then even used that image to his advantage last time. Mac. There you go, Eric. Thank you, Mac. So he's over at Peak, so he's on the other stream. I understand. I was wondering, I could not remember his name. Good old Mac. Glad to see he's over there joining you at Peaks. Gil going to get into it with this ace-8 offsuit, going to raise it up to 20. Lancelot going to come along with the king-10 offsuit, and Ronnie with the suited ace wheel. Ronnie looking for some diamonds. No aces. Ace won't be good to him in this pot. 7-3-9, and actually Nobby with the 7-3 is going to take the lead in this hand, a pretty big commanding lead, and he's going to go ahead and bet this out here, $30 into this $70 pot. Gil's going to hang in there. Oh no, Eric said he check shove king first hand and ran into ace. Oh no, poor Mac. Nobby's going to slow down here with his 2 pair. Check it over to Gil to see if he wants to bet it for him. Oh no, he did. He hit a king on the flop. There you go. Congratulations, Mac. Too funny. So Mac fans here watching the Poker House of Fort Worth are listening to it. I was asking about where Mac was tonight, and Eric said that he was over at Peaks playing in the very first hand. Check shoves pocket kings and runs into aces, and just binks the king right on the flop for a full double in the first hand. So he is over on the Poker House of Peaks live stream. You know, Gil did take the lead here, and Nobby put on a little bit of a show and check raises all in with his 2 pair. And so that might have been the best way to extract any more value there out of that hand. Checked it when that king showed up, just in case Gil had a king, which he didn't, but he did take the action as if he might have could have had a king, and then Nobby goes all in right behind him to pick up that pot. So nice pace of play there from Nobby, betting that flop out, checking a power card on the turn, hoping your opponent could catch up with a singular king to your 2 pair. Didn't happen, but still got somebody to bet a little bit more into him for maximum value. DJ and Cheech, 30% leading the field in pre-flop raising. First person to act this hand, Ronnie, nothing going. Haven't been able to see him play a hand just yet. Nothing to fight with. Still nothing this hand. And unfortunately, Lancelot picks up aces on the button and just doesn't have any customers. Kicker is going to see a flop though with pocket sevens. Does that DJ have aces as well? He does. We have aces versus aces. Nothing had showed up on the computer just yet. And then all of a sudden, let the graphics catch up here. They're laughing about it. I think the graphics were correct because DJ was the one that just shoved. Yeah, he just shoved his whole stack in, $700 in pre-flop, snapped by Sir Lancelot. So, that's not the flop you're looking for if you're Sir Lancelot. Holding the two black aces, a free roll now for DJ. Is he going to get the single card flush double up aces versus aces? Lancelot trying to dodge a diamond, and he does not. How gross. Yikes. Sir Lancelot. Aces versus aces, and DJ comes out on top with the ace of diamonds in a 4 to a flush on board. Tough beat there for Sir Lancelot. Standing up to walk that one off, and I do not blame him. That is the nastiest way to lose in this game, in my opinion, is to get it all in pre-flop with the same hand, especially aces, and lose to a one card flush. Tough. So big double up from DJ there. He is already up $750, almost to a little over 1,000 in this 1-2. And the game that has his namesake. And I guess that's what happens when the game's named after you. You get pocket aces against other aces and just need one to double up. So we will see if Mr. Lancelot will reload or if we're going to get a new player here in DJ's 1-2 game. Nobby going to raise it up pre-flop out of turn, but it's okay. We're all friends here. Zach in the 1 seat with Queen 10 offsuit, going to come along and see a flop 4-10. DJ going to come along with these newfound gifted chips with Queen 3 offsuit. 2 clubs on the flop there, giving Nobby the king high flush draw, and Ronnie flopping the bottom pair of 5s. DJ missing completely, but decides to bet $2. Ronnie's going to raise him up to 20 with the 5. Even though the board is paired, you don't see a lot of people these days laying down flush draws, even if the board is paired. So he's going to come along for a 20, and we're going to go heads up. Bottom pair in the lead currently, looking to dodge a king, jack, or club. And that 7's kind of a scare card there for Nobby, because now the 5 or any pocket pair negates that flush draw. And Ronnie staying on the gas here is probably going to take this down, especially with that overbet there. And Nobby knowing now that the club is no good for him on the river, and he would only be hoping for a king or a jack. But he's still got to Hollywood this just a little bit. He was the pre-flop aggressor in the hand. and he's gonna come over. Or did he go? No, it's just showing he called. Okay, so yeah, okay, and he hits the nut flush. So uh, that's Ronnie is unfazed by the ace on the river. You think that would be able to go check, scare card, uh, just in case Nobby was calling you down with ace king high on a three of a kind board. But Ronnie's going to bet right back into it in 100 and didn't even go all in. Doesn't look bluffy. He's betting basically the rest of Nobby's stack, which unfortunately he has put in about half of it in on that. So Nobby called the 100. He's just going to call it off. Dunn's got the flush, and Ronnie says, "Yeah, there's the 5." And I think Nobby's might want those 2 streets back. Looking back at this hand, it's hard to call off that turn bet with 3 of a kind on the board, chasing a flush draw, and then unfortunately just getting the right price to call off that river bet. So Ronnie's going to pick up a bigger than it should have been pot with his pair of 5s making the full house. And once again, if you are just tuning in, my name is Reese. I am in West Texas. I am around the Midland, Odessa, San Angelo poker rooms. Travel down to Austin. I will be coming to Fort Worth. Not too terribly far into the future. We've got a few things going on in Fort Worth. So if you want to put a face with the voice, I will be in Burleson, Texas in the not too distant future. And if you are by any chance listening from the West Texas area, you can come to Kojak's in Midland. You can head to Celebrity Card Club in Odessa or the River League in San Angelo. And Napalm, here is your bomb pot that you were asking for. So here you go. Appreciate you there, Dan, for the compliments. Your double board bomb pot. Looks like everybody pitched in $5. And an instant checkout there from DJ. Ronnie with a lot of nothing, unfortunately. 10, 9, 6, 4. Anybody got any aces? I see an ace in Zach's hand. A couple of kings out there, but it's going to check around as per usual. That's what happens with these bomb pots. The 8 brings in the flush, and the ace is going to hit that bottom board. So that's going to be all the aces accounted for. The last one going to be in believe it was Zach's hand when they were scrolling. Yeah, there it is. Napalm, you have no idea, good sir. So he doesn't have. Oh, he flopped aces full of kings. Yeah, there it is. These graphics bounce around so much. Zach flopping aces full of kings onto the top board. Brandon with the king. Looks like we had a few bettors here. Some people trying to pick up some stuff. Does anybody have? Zach's got a lot of spades as well. Nobody else has a flush draw. Kicker is going to probably take that bottom board down with that set. I don't see any wheels, no 4s anywhere. So let's see if he feels like that set of 5s is going to be good. Yeah, Zach's going to go ahead and bet pretty heavily here, which I do not blame him. Having one board locked up can pick up the only way to pick up more equity is to get people to fold out the top board winners. Gil in the 8th seat, just looking at kings and 8s. But actually not even that, because that's the aces on the board there. So yeah, he doesn't have anything to fight with, and neither does Cheech. So Zach's going to show the ace king and scoop this bomb pot. But yeah, Napalm, the Midland Odessa games at Kojak's and Celebrity Card Club. The $5, it's a $5 on the button game, basically a 2-5, but a $5 on the button game plays more about like a 25 on the button game. So, and not every day. We've got a lot of 1-2s that get together, and so there's a little bit for everybody in Midland Odessa, but the games definitely do play a little larger than they should, given the type of gamblers and the money floating around there in Midland Odessa. They play a lot of PLO and Big O as well. Do I got any Big O players watching the stream tonight? Big O seems to be people either love it or they hate it. They'd rather play 4-card high or just Big O. Not many people like both. DJ going to raise this up with Jack 3 suited, called by Nabi right behind with the Queen 10 offsuit. Cheech is going to defend to his 6-5, so Lancelot going to try to mix it back in and get some of those bullets back from that unfortunate aces versus aces run with a 8-4 suited. We have a Jack of Hearts. Looks like it's been exposed by a player mucking, so there goes one of DJ's outs into the muck. A 4-5-9. 4-5-9. So Cheech and Lancelot and Brandon all picking up something on this board here. Brandon top pair with the king kicker, and is just going to check around. There's another 4. So Sir Lancelot could feel like he has the best of this, and he's going to get bet into here by Cheech. So that is a good feeling. Napalm, I don't know Oma Jack. I don't know that game. It could be called something else around here in West Texas. But Degenerate Gambling Life, that is pretty much the consensus, is that the Big O still has a higher parity, and the better players will rise to the top more often in a high-low game, people overvaluing their ace, deuces, etc. So the better players definitely do want the high-low aspects. So Cheech here going to have to call out. Yep, so Lancelot's going to move all in here with his remaining chips. And Cheech's hand really, really close, but not quite. And Brandon thinking long and hard about his king kicker top pair. It's tough to believe if a guy is just on tilt trying to get his money back when he had just rebought back in, or if he actually has it. But Brandon does fold his hand. Nabi not going to be able to come along. And Cheech got a bluff catcher, and that's about it. And he's going to go ahead and lay that down. And so Lancelot picks up some much-needed chips after that rebuy here into the 1-2 DJ's game at Poker House Fort Worth on this Wednesday night. And someone in the chat may be able to help me out, but I believe the dealer, that's Minnesota Mike, right? Isn't that his name, Minnesota Mike, in the box for tonight's game? Seen him quite a few times. Unfortunately, I am awful at remembering names. But a pretty popular dealer there at Poker House Fort Worth in Burleson. Lots of small cards coming in the screen now as people are limping in for 2. And DJ says, not in my game. Raises the 10 with the King 6 suited. And as per usual, in for 2, in for 10 in Texas poker. So we're going to go many ways to a flop here. 10-5 deuce. Pretty good board for a bunch of limped in hands. Nobody has a 10 deuce, but Brandon has the middle pair of fives to have a small lead here. Gil with the gut shot wheel draw. And it's going to check around. A couple diamonds bring out more opportunities for Kicker and Brandon to have flush on flush violence. And Sir Lancelot picking up second pair is going to bet this out with his pair of sixes. Kicker going to come along, picking up some more equity there on the turn for his king high flush, and that may bring Brandon along as well, and it looks like it did. And Gil is going to come along with needing a 3 for the wheel. And it is the 4, but it is a 4 of hearts. So it's flush over flush spared for this one. And it's going to be a chop between Lancelot and Brandon with the bottom end of the straight, which is going to be hard to call off if somebody decides to bet this. So Lancelot looks like he's going to be the one to do it. Brandon, they're going to just show it down here and chop up a fairly decent sized pot. Not too bad, not too bad. But yeah, diamond there would have been pretty nasty for Brandon and Kicker. So yeah, Napalm, I think I've heard of that game. I know that in some other places they play Dramaha, to where it's a 2-pot game, Omaha and 5-card draw. There's so many variants of poker these days. People are going to find a way to gamble, especially whenever there's more gambling that needs to happen in those kinds of games where you just have so many different things going on at once. The better players always prefer the confusion and or the extra stuff. That's why, like I said, a lot of the players like Big O. The better players prefer Big O because the weaker players don't really know when to fold. They don't really know how good their hand in Big O is when you have 5 cards, Omaha style, with an ace deuce. People don't know how to fold, and so the better players can take advantage of them. So a true Big O game has a lot of parity between the better and the weaker players. So you're seeing a lot of people starting to play Big O now. DJ, get to pick up aces again and just throw a slew of green chips out there, telling everybody to go away. Not even trying to slow play it, not even be friendly about it. Or he is being friendly about it, rather, by just telling everybody to fold. But Lancelot in the 2-seat not only has revenge on the mind, but a couple pocket nines. Oh, boy. He's being serious, Lancelot. Oh, he does call it off here. Unfortunate thus far. My kicker can let that ace jack go. So that's going to be one of DJ's aces gone. So, okay. So Lancelot looking for a 9 here to get some of those chips back that he lost to DJ. If you missed it, we had aces versus aces all in pre-flop heads up, and DJ's red aces made the diamond flush on a 4 to a flush board. Lancelot needing a 9, does not get it. Let's see if DJ can put Lancelot on a king. Lancelot jams into him. That's pretty rough. That's pretty rough. It definitely slows down a call, but he's going to make it anyway. DJ's got too much money, especially this gentleman's money, to not even give him an opportunity to give it back. So Lancelot looking for 2 9s left in the deck. Survey says not going to happen. So DJ, unfortunately for Sir Lancelot, but fortunately for DJ, is going to take down that almost $800 pot, and Lancelot cannot get a break tonight. Tough luck on the aces, and then tried to hope to get it in best with the 9s. And he's reaching for a microphone on that one, so that might be the end of his night. But we've all been there. Shake it off, Mr. Sir Lancelot. Come back and get him another day. Anyone who plays poker has had days and nights just like that one. Dan, do you guys do flips at the end of the night? Oh, yeah. Actually, they prefer to do where they run the deck out. They'll get 3 or 4 guys, and then I'll pitch in 25, 50, or 100, depending on the size of the game. Get 3 or 4 guys in there, and they just deal the entire deck out, and then everyone turns over one card at a time until they make the best hand than the previous one before them, and just kind of a sweat style. And then whoever makes the best hand out of however many hands there were divided amongst the 4 players takes down all of the money. And it's pretty fun to watch. Brandon letting the 7 deuce go. So we're not playing the 7 deuce game tonight, probably. Looks like Zach's going to punish the limpers here with ace 10 offsuit. And just like before, and just like, oh no, we actually had a folder. I actually had one person fold. Usually in Texas poker, in for 2, in for 200. No one folds pre-flop. Texas heads up, as they say, is 4 to 5 hands. 4 to 5 players is Texas heads up. 6-8 king is going to be this flop here. DJ going to flop the middle pair. Zach looks like he's going to immediately bet this one out 15. DJ is definitely coming along with a pair. Another king that no one has. My kicker needing a gut shot. DJ is still with the 8. Going to bet this one out. Now, any kind of call here behind DJ is going to send some pretty severe red flags to anyone, not only anyone left, but also DJ here. So Ronnie, while he does have the better hand with the kicker, I would love to see someone really represent the king here. DJ is going to bet out 50 and or 40, it looks like, yeah. So the question is, does Ronnie really feel like his 8 is good, or does he want to bluff the king? You know, if you really think your 8 is good here, you could raise, but he just goes ahead and just calls it. Kicker's going to fold, missing his straight, and DJ shows it up and got looked up by Ronnie. So something tells me there might be some history between those 2 players. I think Ronnie felt way too comfortable calling down that hand there from DJ. Yeah, Napalm, there's quite a bit of action for a 1-2 in this game. You don't need to incentivize it too much, but I do know that in other streams, and I believe here in Fort Worth as well, and also at Peaks, they do things like the 7 deuce game, the knit game, or stand-up game, whatever place you are in. That usually creates a little bit of action here and there. But yeah, these people get on stream, and I think you have enough of a good enough mix of people that want to be on stream and people that want to be on stream and want to kind of fold, play really well, kind of knit it up a little bit. They don't want to be seen getting out of line or some sort of embarrassing move online. And then you've got some players who are just like, hey, I'm on camera, watch this, and just go insane, which I love both. So looks like we have a new player there in seat 2. Just like I said, if you are in the Burleson area, Fort Worth area, and you're listening or watching the stream, this game will be going on for several hours. And call down there and get on the list. Check it out on Poker Atlas and get on the list, and be some backfill and maybe catch a spot here on the live stream. as people get eliminated. A flop of 7, 8, 9, giving Nabi and Gil and Ronnie and DJ and Zach and Cheech. Everybody's got a piece of this one. We've got sixes or six for the open enders, sevens, eights, nines everywhere, and a 15. It seems to be a good enough price. So I think Gil was in the lead with his ace kicker. No king in anybody's hands here to catch the bigger pair. Zach's going to continue to bet this out with his bottom pair open-ended straight draw. Brandon still feeling his eights. Ronnie with the top pair open-ended. Nabi second pair with an ace. And Gil, which had the top pair on the flop with the ace kicker. It's a pretty gin flop for a lot of these hands as far as being able to put a little bit of money in the pot. Maybe not piles, but Nabi's going to act like it, though. Nabi's going to raise this up to 75. And, you know, it might get rid of Brandon, but I don't think it's going to get rid of anyone else. I mean, if you're Zach called it, obviously, but if you're Zach or Ronnie, you could feel like you're drawn to a chop. So I could understand a fold. And I think that's what Ronnie is looking at here. You know, you could be drawing to that king beats your 9, and you could be drawing to a chop with your 10 if Nabi is betting king 10 here or something to that effect. But Ronnie is not going to go anywhere just yet. He's going to make that call. Getting 3-1 on that call there. And the river is going to be the ace. And that's going to make it Nabi's hand, believe it or not. And it's tough to make a bet here. I mean, the only thing that might call you is ace 7, king 7, king 8. But he is going to put it all in there at 169. Sometimes, yeah, it's going to take it down. But boy, that's a scary bet there by Nabi. But he's going to show the ace and going to pick up a pretty good size pot for him. Much needed chips as he was getting a little bit low. Napalm. It's kind of the same. We're all kind of together anyway. I will say that I have been personally working on some stuff that coming up here in the near future. So keep an eye out for that as far as Dallas Fort Worth working together. A lot of great minds putting together a lot of great events for all the different poker rooms that we have here in the state. We had 2 fantastic streams. Hand number 23 in DJ's game, the 1-2 no limit $300 max buy-in Wednesday night game. It's going to be going on for a while, so if you are listening or watching from near the Fort Worth area, go on down to Poker House Fort Worth in Burleson and get signed up for this game. Pretty fun game so far. So Zach's going to raise up to 10 with the queen 10 to be 3-bet by Simon with the king jack. My kicker and Ronnie both coming along for 35. Ace, Trey suited, a couple of deuces, queen 10 and a king jack. So $8, 9 ace. So a pretty big whiff for most, except for kicker's going to have the top pair with a not a good kicker. But it's going to check around really quickly. Nobody making any stabs at this $150-ish pot. Kicker kind of out of position to be able to bet this too much. And it's going to play out 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and everybody's just going to go to showdown here. And kicker's going to be able to take down this pot uncontested, no sweat, no decisions, and his ace be good. Good little pickup there for my kicker. Yeah, Napalm. I missed that club as well. We put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into that place, and I was there quite a bit. But yeah, that's just the way Dallas goes. So, but we're still doing some good things at Poker House Peaks. And who knows what the future is going to bring for any and all locations, not just in Dallas, but in Texas. But yeah, that was quite an immaculate room there in Dallas that I was very fortunate to be a part of and experience. No, not this time, Napalm, unfortunately. But if you give Eric a shout out over there, I bet he'll take care of you for maybe a day. He might give you a little day pass there to come check him out there at Peaks for being a live stream viewer. Lots of $5 to the floppers. 8-5 deuce. We have just not had any these fair to midland flops. It looks like DJ going to bet it out with his bottom pair. Zach middle pair 8-7-5. Brandon currently in the lead with 8-6 top pair, no kicker. But 3 people that made the pairs are going to be coming along for the turn. There's a 3 that's going to not change much, but it does develop some straight draws out there. And now Brandon's going to lead this out for 15. And DJ immediately raises with his 2 pair. And I love it. And that's going to be hard for Brandon to come along there. That 3 just represents a lot of hands and a lot of hands to have some very good draws that you could be ahead of, but do you want to try to contest too much, betting 15 and having to call 85 more when you only have 20 invested into the pot? And he goes ahead and lays that down. So a great move there by DJ, who has the bullets to make that move on some of these big hands that he has had tonight. Again, if you are just tuning in, my name is Reese. I am in West Texas. I run around the West Texas properties, Midland, Odessa, San Angelo, go down to Austin some, and I'll be headed to Fort Worth within the next couple of weeks. Coming to check out and meet and talk to everybody there with some of the events and things that we have coming up at Poker House Fort Worth. Looking forward to being in Fort Worth. DJ, the big winner of the namesake game, 1.3K. I got here a little bit late, but I did not see him have to rebuy, so he may be in for his original 300. Zach picking up a real hand. Ace, Jack here offsuit, going to bet at 15, and Brandon's going to come along with the Queen, Jack offsuit after having to make that tough laydown top pair at last hand. And DJ going to have the same hand as Zach, so let's see who plays it better. DJ or Zach with the ace jack. And it's going to be all diamonds, which was notoriously DJ's ballpark, but this time no one having diamonds. So first bet's probably going to take this down unless, nope, DJ has some larceny on the mind. Both players with the same hand checking the turn. Nothing develops. Who can bet? No one's going to bet. So ace jack, and they are going to chop that one up. Zach saying, "What did you call me with, buddy? You don't have a diamond. You don't have a pair." DJ saying, "I've got plenty of calling chips." So, just in case you are tuned in from the West Texas area, around some of our other rooms at Kojak's in Midland, starting tomorrow, we've been doing a Vegas series for the month of May. We've given away 4 tickets to the Monster Stack event, basically a $150 tournament, to where we were giving away to the winners a $1,500 ticket into the Monster Stack event plus $1,000 spending money. We ended up having enough for 4 packages week before last. Last week we did a $200 buy-in main event package seat for the main World Series of Poker main event in July. A $10,000 seat plus a $2,000 travel expenses. And we gave away 2 of those last Sunday to the top 2 finishers of that tournament. Starting tomorrow, we're doing the Millionaire Maker event, $1,500 tickets and $1,000 travel money, as many as we can get into the prize pool for that, starting tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, with the day 2 on Sunday. And then the last week of this month, we're going to be doing the main event again, trying to get 1 or 2 more people from the Midland, Odessa area into the main event this year at the World Series of Poker. So we're getting some people headed down to Vegas from West Texas. And I don't have the dates, but I believe Fort Worth is going to be sending a couple of representatives as well. If you are involved in the Road to Vegas promotion or not there at Fort Worth, hopefully you are. Napalm, I completely agree with that. Just to have it up on a TV somewhere. But problem is if you could show just the chat, maybe, but we don't want to show the players the hands, even though we are running on a 15-minute delay. Not everybody wants people being able to see exactly what happened exactly 15 minutes ago up on the TV screen. So maybe just the chat someday, but then you've got chat that'll probably spoil the action. So who knows? We have some fun cash games without the seriousness of like a tournament or something. Who knows what we'll be capable of being able to do. Lots of decent hands. Seeing the flop here, Cheech is going to have ace king, ace high on that flop. 5 and an 8 going to get Nobby's second pair. Simon with a bottom set. So here we go. A bet out there by Cheech with his ace king. Simon, the new player at the table. Definitely welcome to the table vibes with this hand here. Looks like he's going to smooth call this bottom set. And now we're going to go heads up to a flop. Not going to be a scare card there too badly for Cheech. So he's going to continue his pedal to the metal betting 75. And Simon here, you can't just give the guy a 6-7 straight. You got to think you're still best with your bottom set here, unless you're up against 9s or 8s. Not enough no action pre-flop to warrant pocket aces to be in Cheech's range. So it looks like he's got a little less than 200 left in his stack. This was a $300 buy-in cash game, so we know he had a little less than 300 to start the hand. Betting 75, he'll probably just go ahead and ship this here. And that looks like that's exactly what he did there. Go ahead and make the move, and Cheech is in a disgusting spot here. Your ace king is just going to be good here so much of the time, but that turn card does bring home a couple straights, and you just don't have a lot to fold behind. He bet 75, and it looks like he's got maybe 100 left. He's almost has to make a cry and call here. And yeah, that's exactly what he does. A cry and call, turns it up, and just sits back knowing he's probably not good. And in fact, not just not good, but drawing dead, unfortunately. So welcome to the table, Mr. Simon. On your bottom set double up, Cheech stuck in a bad spot there. Had too much invested, had too strong of a hand to be able to let that go. Completely understand how that hand ended up the way it did on both sides. So it looks like he's sitting back down with a little bit of cash in front of there, trying to get some more bullets and try to get some of those back. Looks like he's going to reload for a quick 100 here. This is a max $300 buy-in 1-2 game. Maximum $300 buy-in 1-2 game. At least it was last time I commentated. Unless they've changed the rules. It was a 1-2 with a $300 max buy-in. And I like it. I like that. It keeps a good 1-2 vibe. And you're going to run up some good stacks, but you don't have to worry about somebody coming in for 70% or matching the stack and all the stacks getting out of hand around the table. Makes a game that a lot of people can participate in. And I mean, I could play in this game. I don't know if I could play these players. I don't know if I could beat any of these guys, but I can afford this game. So if you want to be on DJ's game or any of the other live streams there at Poker House Fort Worth, you can sign up at Poker House Fort Worth in person, or check it out on our Poker Atlas listing. See what we have going there. Signing up for the live stream cash games and join these guys. Top pair for somebody. I saw somebody had a queen and it went off the screen. Zach with top pair, queen 9, I think it was. Not a lot of much else for anyone else. It looks like somebody bet out here and got a string of folds. Like I said, not much happening anywhere else. Zach might have let out. Yeah, he did. Zach bet out his queen and nothing else going for any other players. So quick folds around. And we're off to hand number 28. The stream has been going about an hour and a half, and this game will go on through the night. So if you're thinking that you can get in and shake it up with these guys and you're close to Burleson, Texas, just south of Fort Worth, come and check out Poker House Fort Worth and get in on this game. Need to text Eric and see how Mac is doing. Mac, a regular here at Poker House Fort Worth, playing over on the Peaks live stream tonight, where Eric is running a stream over there right now. Nobby going to raise it up with King 10 offsuit. Not much in the red other players' holdings, but I bet you every single one of them call because that is Texas poker. Three, 7, 9, 2 diamonds on the flop. No one having diamonds. DJ going to be picking up the open-ended straight draw, and he checks it. Interesting. And the 3 diamonds does give. They're giving Ronnie the nut flush draw. Ronnie's going to come along with his ace of diamonds. So it was bet out by DJ there. And so no going. Pair of 9s is going to be good for DJ. He had 9-8. Did he have 9-8 or 6-8? It looks like he does have 9-8, so his 9 is going to be good. So far, the only person that can extract chips from DJ is Ronnie. Ronnie's the only one that's really gotten a good piece out of DJ that I've seen since I have been tuning in and commentating. It has been DJ's night tonight on his namesake game, the DJ's game 1-2 here at Poker House Fort Worth. He's got about 1.4K in front of him, a little over 1,000 in the green for the night. Ronnie up a buy-in, $341. Simon almost doubled up so far, and he just sat down, flopping bottom set against ace-king with an ace on the board. Brandon looking to make something happen here with pocket kings, going to raise it up to 20. And so far, a lot of nothing from other people. Nobby's going to call it with the Jack 10 offsuit. You see it 4, 5, 6 ways to a flop so often, and you get pocket kings, and everybody's just going away, even if you did bet 20. And that may or may not get Nobby in trouble here. Brandon's doesn't have a whole lot behind, so he's going to go ahead and ship it in for 192. Pretty good overbet on about a $50 pot. Just trying to end it now. And Nobby's going to let that middle pair go. A lot of good turn cards for Jack 10 there. So a good protective bet there by Brandon to take down that pre-flop action and bring himself back up a little over 200 in the stack. That raise first in stat there showing Simon, my kicker, and Ronnie preferring to lay in the weeds and just call tonight so far. But most of them having some chips to show for it. And my kicker just broke that 0 streak by putting in 15 of his own with his ace jack offsuit, called in a few different locations. Jack 10-9. He is going to flop best here, but pretty scary board for ace jack here. Nobby going to be open-ended with the queen. My kicker choosing not to c-bet this flop here, so we're going to see another 9. And DJ going to take the lead on this hand if that was in fact a 9, but no, the graphic just changed there. We'll get a look at that board. That graphic there is incorrect. I believe it was 9-10 jack on the flop. And we'll get a board look here to see. It definitely wasn't a 9 if DJ folded there. So we saw the Jack 10-9 live on the camera. And so the top pair of jacks going to bet that and take that hand down. Napalm is the 1-2 stream ever at peaks, just the Burleson location. You'd have to ask Eric. They've been typically streaming their tournaments lately, but they do have a cash game going right now as well. Or no, it could be a tournament. I mean, right now as well. Let's just pull it up and see here what they have going on. Looks like it may be on their Facebook. Yeah, they have the rec stakes. So the same game that we have here in Burleson is going on right now at Poker House Peaks. Had to take a look there for myself. Sorry about that. Yeah, that stream going on there at Peaks right now. Ace, king, top pair here on this flop. 8, 9 of diamonds. Nobody having diamonds to go along with that. A gut shot for Brandon's going to make that call. And that gut shot is going to be paid off immediately on the turn there. So Brandon getting the hammer lock on this hand up against Ronnie, who is going to have the first hand go against him tonight. Has had some great hands to build up that stack there. An immediate raise there out of Brandon. You know, it's hard to give a player just queen jack here just because. Betting 20 and being raised to 60 at that, you're only calling 40 more, but it's such a suspicious raise there. And Ronnie just cannot do it. It looked like he was going to fold there just for a moment, but Ace King is just strong, and your opponent could have picked up a combo draw here of some sorts, and you still could be in the lead with Ace King. But so he is going to convince himself of that story. Unfortunately, drawing it dead. The diamond does come home, which might save him some money. But Brandon's not going to slow down, not scared of the diamonds. And so Ronnie's going to probably let this one go here. All in for 145. Good fold there by Ronnie. And Brandon's going to show it that he did get lucky and hit that gutter for $20. Got to gamble every once in a while. Nice hit there by Brandon. And I think he's back in the positive now. He had a kind of a low and slow session so far, and that might have put him back into the green. So a great pickup there by Brandon. And Broke Gambler Slots, what's up to you, sir? This evening, this Wednesday evening, 1-2 DJ's game. Live at Poker House Fort Worth on a 15-minute delay for us. But these guys are playing and going to be playing for a while. So if you're watching and or listening in the Fort Worth area, make your way down there. Have a seat with some of these guys. Try to take some of DJ's earnings tonight. He is up and up pretty well. Lots of people coming in for 5, and DJ is going to raise the price of this hand with Queen 10 offsuit to $20. Ronnie on a little bit of a maybe a little steam from that last hand coming along with the King 5. Then we have a Jack 4, a 5-3 suited, which out of all these hands, I think I'd rather have the 3-5 suited. Such a fun little hand, and whiffs completely on this board. Zach going to pick up the diamond draw, and that's going to be about it. So this hand is going to check around and see a turn. And the diamonds immediately come home there for Zach. But Brandon's going to be betting this out. Going to not have much equity. Maybe a 7 of diamonds is about all that will win him this hand. And Ronnie's going to call it with the king 5. Okay. And the pair of 5s changes nothing, gives Ronnie some form of showdown. Brandon's taking to bet out 15. We may not have his cards read just right, but you never know. Zach sitting here thinking about this jack high 1 card flush. Wow. Is he going to lay this down for $15? Is he going to lay down the jack for 15? He does. Incredible. So Ronnie and Brandon's going to bet out that 10 high diamonds, and Zach immediately with fists in the air, upset, know that he folded the best of it. So Brandon there, knowing that his 10 was good, let's just bet it out. And appreciate the information there, Scott. Peaks usually streams Wednesday and Friday. You can check out their games on YouTube. And speaking of that, there 1-2 Wednesday, 5-5-10 on Thursday. Some great cash games. 5-5 ROE Sunday. That sounds like a fun game. VPIPs are still up there for a lot of these players. DJ leading the field, as he should be for his namesake in this DJ's game. 1-2, $300 max buy-in Wednesday night. 1-2 game here at Poker House of Fort Worth in Burleson. Gil going to raise it up here with pocket 6s. Cheech with ace king going to make that call. Zach is going to act a little steamed. What an acting job there. Acting job, shaking his head from the last hand, but laying there with kings. Going to 3-bet it to 45. And it's going to fold around to the initial raiser there in Gil with 6s. Haven't seen much action out of Gil tonight. Hasn't had much to battle with. Cheech, unfortunately, has run into ace king, had ace king not do him well before, but he's going to put all in here with 87. His remaining $87 here, and they're going to see if that is going to qualify as a reopening of action, probably there for Zach to raise Gil back there. It looks like they just called it a call. So some side pot action between Gil and Zach. Gil looking for a 6. Does not quite come home, but a semblance of life for Cheech to be able to hit an ace or a 10 to take down the main. And Gil only having 116 left. It's going to be hard to call that off. Only got 116 remaining, but that is not a board that looks good for 6s, and just going to go ahead and save that $116. And Zach is going to be heads up with Cheech all in. Looks like they may be running this twice on the first board. 3 on the turn, no help, needing an ace or a 10. It does hit the 10, so we're going to make Broadway for Cheech on the first board. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So same outs one more time. Does not get there, so we're going to chop that pot up. So ace king taking care of kings the hard way. No aces involved, makes Broadway on the first run, and kings hold on the second board, so they will chop Gil's money here in this hand. Cheech is going to get a little bit of that money back. And we are on to hand number 35. We've got about a little over an hour left of the live stream, but the game will be going on beyond the live stream, so do not worry. If you want to get in on this game, you still will have opportunity to do so even after the live stream ends. DJ is still your big winner by a pretty large margin, over just right at a little over 1K up on the night. And if you will bear with us just a little bit of frame loss there, but everything seems to be fine. Zach going to raise this one up $15 with his Jack 10 offsuit, called by Jack 9 offsuit, King Queen offsuit, and Ace Jack offsuit. So there's a lot of flops that can train wreck these four holdings perfectly. And that one may not do it. No diamonds for anyone. King high is going to be DJ at best with the King Queen offsuit, but it's going to check around here. A board pairing 3 on the turn. DJ going to go ahead and see where he's at with his top pair Queen kicker. And that will probably do it for the hand. Shows his hand to the opponent, saying, hey, I'm not just bullying with this big stack. I actually had it, boys. DJ getting aces versus aces pre-flop about an hour and a half ago that I'm sure Eric will clip and put on Facebook. All in call pre-flop with pocket aces. Sir Lancelot had 2 black aces, and DJ had 2 red aces, and 4 diamonds showed up by the river, giving DJ a pretty massive pot early on, and has held on to those chips throughout the stream thus far. Cheech with the suited ace tray, suited ace wheel hand. Simon with a couple spades as well. Does decide to play my kicker, picking up King Queen offsuit, calls 2. And we're going 5 or 6 ways to a flop, maybe 7. 7, 8, Queen. Black cards, what they are clubs, so no train wreck between Cheech and Simon. Top pair for Brandon with the Queen 10, but out kicked by my kicker with King Queen. Seen a few people a fan of my kicker in the chat, and this is a good opportunity to still be rooting him on. He has a pretty good... Nope, never mind. Simon's going to take the lead here on this one. He has the 6-5, just gets there on the turn for the straight. So, but the third club could slow the action down to where no one's going to really lose a lot into this hand here. A meaningless deuce on the river, so Simon's going to earn the 100% marker for his straight. But Brandon is going to bet this one out, $40. And it's going to be tough for kicker to lay this one down exactly. You'd give him clubs, but King Queen feels strong with the way this hand was played. So, and then what do you do if you're Simon? Do you raise here, or do you just go ahead and call it off and hope they don't have clubs? There's no way you can really fold for 40. And pretty much only going to get called. If you raise it, you're only going to get called by clubs pretty much. So yeah, that's just a good flat call there by Simon to go ahead and show that straight. And but a great, decent, decent sized pot there. Brandon and my kicker, their queens going to battle, and Simon sitting there quietly with the big guns. The made straight on the turn. Simon, a late joiner of the stream, has already picked up a nice, tidy stack with a bottom set, and now a turned straight. It was a good choice for him to come drive down to Poker House Fort Worth tonight and play on the live stream. Hand number 37. It's either a raise or a straddle there out of Zach. It's going to be about that time of the stream where you start seeing some people locking up their chips and some shenanigans happening. DJ is going to raise this to 25. Nabi sitting there with pocket tens. We'll definitely re-raise this back up to 51, it looks like. Nope, he's going to leave that one out there. Minnesota Mike says, nope, you didn't reach for it. That's 51, sir. So 51 to Cheech, who's going to fold the queen 7. We'll see what Zach put in. They said it was either a straddle or a raise to 10 here. But he is going to let it go, the 10-9 offsuit. And DJ, will he come along for the additional 26? Looks like he does. So 8-9 offsuit versus pocket tens of Nabi. And that's going to be a tough flop for a man like DJ to get away from. Top pair, backdoor, straight opportunities. Nabi's going to go ahead and keep the aggression on. Looks like he bet 70, 75, no, 80. And DJ is going to go ahead and put him to the test right here to put in the rest of his chips. Not an easy call, but he does make it without too much hesitation, knowing DJ's range. He could have just a simple ace-9, ace-7 even, flush draw, straight draw. DJ, not a man afraid to put chips in the middle, so tens are about as good as you could ask for on this flop. Ace on the turn doesn't help DJ. Jack on the river. Nabi is going to get the full double up with his pocket tens. And he didn't show him fairly decent size all in, a little less than 300. But again, DJ just not the kind of guy to lay down after flopping top pair, especially after the night he has had. A very small impact on those chips earned tonight. And it's DJ's game. You got to be a good host, right? You got to offer the chips back into play. But he's still just shy of $1,000 up on the night. And Nabi trying to climb back out. He's only down a couple $100 on the night now after that decent little pickup there. Sometimes breaking even feels like winning $1,000, and it might be one of those nights for several of these guys trying to climb back into the black. Looks like we're going to have ourselves a bomb pot. So I get to see how many hands I can identify with everything flashing across the screen. Eight, 8, 3, and 9, 10 queen. So as these cards slowly start coming up there, looks like we have a set for Zach and Trips on the bottom board. So he's going to bet this one out 430. Simon with top set of queens, very coordinated top board, but you have to call it off a little bit. Open ended for my kicker, who will go ahead and make the call. Not much working on the bottom board for my kicker. Nabi with 3/8 as well. Going to try to pick up a 6 or a 4 or a queen, but we know all the queens are accounted for, so he's going to have a hard time boating up. So we still have 5 pretty decent hands left in on this bomb pot. There's a board pairing 10 on the top, giving pocket queens a huge sigh of relief on that top board from Simon. Zach's still the one betting this out, and he's got 9s full of 10s. That might cost him a little bit, but in these bomb pots, sometimes you have to lay down the smaller boats. Fold there from Brandon, and kicker can get out of the way. Nabi here. Trip 8's pretty much all he has on this double board bomb pot. Doesn't have a flush draw. I suppose you could count his gut shot straight draw at the top, but he's still going to come along there. So he's showing confidence in his trip 8s down at the bottom, which is possible. So, and it will end up being a good enough river there for Nabi at the bottom. Zach's not gonna bet much here, but unfortunately doesn't. It's not gonna walk away with anything on here. Simon just gonna make nope. Simon's gonna go ahead and ship it here. He's going to go ahead and try to squeeze out Nabi. He knows he 99.9% of the time has the top board locked up, so try to get that other person to fold whatever they have down on the bottom. And it's still a tough call here for Nabi, but he did call the 75 earlier, but 300 is a different story when you just have 3/8 and that's it. And he ace 8, king 8 just took the lead from you. Well, they had it to begin with, but you didn't make a queen 6 or 4 on the river, so it's hard to call off here. Now he did end up making a pointless straight on the top board with his 6/8, but he cannot imagine that is good in any way. I think the only reason he was even calling the 75 on the turn was because he felt like both players across the table were going for the top board, and he could sneak in there and snipe away with the trip 8s and maybe boat up on the river. But $290 call is tough to make with this trip 8s, and this is exactly why Simon's bet works so well in these double board bomb pots. When you have the one board completely wrapped up, you can get who you would chop with out. And Zach's going to make that call. And that does give Zach the bottom board, though. So big fold there. Zach needs to thank Simon for getting half of his money back there. That should have been seat 8's bottom board, but again, it's hard to call off with just trips there. But Zach, small boat on the top, no fear, call, and still picks up half that pot. So a good bet by Simon. Would work, or did work in favor of Zach, and might even get Zach to fold a lot of the time there, or a player to fold the smaller boat and a just 3 of a kind on the bottom. But if you're dragging half the pot in a bomb pot, you did something right, I suppose. Napalm here in, I don't know if you're still tuned in here for the bomb pot fun, but on Wednesday nights in Midland, we actually have bomb pot tournament. That's right. It's kind of a smaller buy-in. It's only a $60 buy-in. You can re-enter for 60 and you can add on at the break for $50. So it's kind of a cheaper buy-in, but it's more of a fun tournament. But it is a double board bomb pot tournament. And we actually get quite a few entries in that thing, and it's a lot of fun. So if you like bomb pots, might see about joining in some bomb pot tournaments. A lot of limping in, and so Cheech raises it up 220 with King Jack offsuit. Zach making the call with a dominating hand of King Queen offsuit. My kicker and Simon both coming along with weak offsuit aces. But they are going to flop best, but no one's going to be able to like their kicker too much. Cheech going to continue his pre-flop aggression here, betting 25. Simon's going to come along with his ace. And can my kicker feel like the deuce could be good? He's going to come along as well. And the 3 on the turn does give kicker some outs. Needs a 5 for the wheel, but he's going to bet this one out. That is a big statement there from kicker. Not only is that going to get Cheech to go away because he still had not made anything, but that might get Simon to lay down his hand, and he does. So fantastic bet there out of my kicker. Know a lot of people, and he shows the deuce. He shows the deuce, saying, hey, did I have the wheel or did I not have the wheel? So my kicker finally making a move, picking up a pot there. And my kicker is in the black. Brandon real close back to the black figures with those 2 big hands he had picked up. Nobby and Gil and Cheech still needed to do some work to try to get back to even for the night. But this game will continue on beyond the stream. So if this looks like a fun table to sit at, come on down to Poker House Fort Worth. They're going to be playing for a while. Let the graphics no, Napalm Simon had queens, and there was a queen on the board. Simon had the second nuts on the top. The only thing that beat Simon was pocket tens. And then the other gentleman had a better trips, but when he folded, that gave Zach trip 8s to take the bottom. So as the graphics have caught up here, picks up a flush draw from my kicker. DJ with middling pair here, so kicker with a couple back-to-back hands here. Real good pots. That's a lot of money to get in with King 7 and 6-3, but that's how these guys are playing now. It's getting that time of the stream. And so kicker picking up 2 excellent pots there back-to-back to push him close to or right at that 1K mark. So Those that have been waiting for a kicker to come alive, here he is. Here he is. And I can't tell if that's just a dark bet. He's done it a couple times now on DJ, and I'm trying to catch up with the graphics if that was just a $10 dark bet there out of DJ trying to increase some of the action here late in the stream. Now, it looks like it is going to be a straddle because he did get to act. So that's what it was, a $10 straddle, and he's going to put out some more red chips there to make it 25 to go with ace deuce suited. Got an ace queen I saw out of Brandon. So we're going to have quite a few people head to the flop here. So 2 decent sized pots back to back here. See who can flop best. There is an ace on the flop, ace queen, ace deuce, and ace tray all in the holdings of the players. So ace queen is going to be best at the moment. No one with any real heart draws. Looks like Zach's going to bet this out with his ace tray. Snap called there by Brandon. DJ is going to raise it up to see where he's at with his ace. He does have the worst of the 2 aces, but he's going to find out exactly where he's at pretty quick. It's going to fold around. Gil with a very pretty hand, but just missed. Unfortunately, has not had any good cards tonight. Gil has not been well representative on stream because the cards have not cooperated. So DJ's going to raise this up. Zach's going to come along, and Brandon going to come along, obviously. And there is the gin card there for Brandon, and he's just going to ship it. He's not even going to give DJ a chance to bet. Brandon, come on, buddy. One check, one time. Let DJ fire off $100. But it is DJ. He might get called anyway. You never know. But Brandon just saying, I've got 2 pair. I'm done with this hand. No more hearts. No more straight cards. Let's just take it down here. I've got about a pot size bet left. So while I don't hate it, you're still going to make good money. I would have loved to have seen what DJ would have bet had he just checked it to him one time. But DJ is going to call it anyway. So there you go. Max value from DJ regardless. And no point in running it multiple times when you're drawn dead. So Brandon getting paid with his ace queen. So what do I know? Going all in there was just as effective as checking it and letting DJ bet. So that's going to bring Brandon up close to the $1,000 mark. Some late night moves being made by some of these players. It's a 1-2 game. A 1-2 game. But yet we've got several stacks pushing the 1,000 mark. Plenty of action to be had here at Poker House Fort Worth for these Wednesday night 1-2 stream games. You can sign up for this game on Poker Alice. Sign up in the room in person. If you think you can compete with these and other gentlemen at a 1-2 $300 max buy-in game, feel free. I'll be happy to commentate. And you can take a look at everything else we have going at Poker House Fort Worth on all of the respective Facebooks: Poker House Peaks, Poker House Fort Worth, Kojak's Poker Club in Midland, the River League in San Angelo, Celebrity Card Club in Odessa, Poker House Austin in Round Rock, and the Text Line Card Club in Texarkana, Texas. If you by any chance happen to be listening from far east Texas, we've got a little poker room out there. Fantastic, fantastic little East Texas poker room there. Go tell Mr. Ben at Textline Card House that Reese sent you. So 5, 10, 10. Nobby here flopping trips, checking it on the flop and no action to come along just yet. Brandon did pick up bottom pair on the turn with these newfound chips, decides to put 20 of them in play to make this call. Unfortunately, cannot catch anything on the river to get those $20 in chips back. And that ace is just going to make it that much worse if he doesn't put his opponent on a 10. Nobby here could get called with a reasonable size bet. And it looks like he does. Looks like he bet right at either 75 or 70. And will Brandon have to pay this off? And he does. So coming along with that bottom pair, which caught the perfectly wrong river card there for Brandon. But he said, I just got these chips. I was just seeing how they worked. Nobby getting a decent sized pot there, flopping trips with the Jack 10. So after 42 hands, the VPIP still going to be in DJ's favor, 72%. Nobby at 62, Zach at 60, my kicker at 57. So a pretty decent VPIP for these players. Ronnie not catching much in the last few orbits, needing to slow down after that little heater he went on. Still up for the night. Gil has had no friends in the dealer tonight for his cards that he's been getting. Definitely a cold deck night for Mr. Gill. We'll see if he can make some late night action.